dive into our first topic. Before we take questions, we're actually going to dive into some like content creation stuff. I thought it was kind of interesting because these gentlemen are doing really great stuff, right? And they're blowing up and they work their asses off. And I want to kind of pick their brain as to like, you know, how they got started in this space, if people at home aren't familiar, and how has the journey been, and maybe some advice for people that want to get into content creation. So Tonez, I'll start with you, man. What's your story in regards to becoming a content creator? For people that are new to the channel that haven't really heard your side of this.
So, I mean, we can go back years, like when I was in high school and middle school, like just streaming on Twitch from my PlayStation. Like we would play Call of Duty all the time, just streaming on Twitch. Didn't have no setup or anything, just had a PlayStation. And, you know, I loved just streaming on that platform. And I didn't really do much until I got a little bit older because of course, I got more money because I was buying my own computer and my own, just my own monitors, everything. I bought everything to go with it. And I said, you know, I have free time sometimes. Like I was working full time, but it was just fun to do. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. So I started streaming on Twitch with a camera, with playing Call of Duty with this guy and, you know, amongst other people. And once that kind of fell off and I wasn't really having fun doing it, it was more of just like a couple people would come in and, you know, I kind of got down on myself. So I was like, you know, I'm not going to stream anymore. But fast forward to a couple years ago, I made a TikTok. And the only reason why I made it is because my niece had it. And I wanted to keep an eye on her. You know, I knew how creeps are on social media. One night I spent about 4 hours on TikTok and not even knowing it. I had no clue I was on there for that long. Wow. And I was just having fun doing it. Like I was having fun watching videos. It was fun. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to set up on my TikTok and just talk about movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So once I started doing that, I had one of my videos go crazy viral. I think it hit like 300,000 of views. I gained like 1,000 followers. And then I want to say about 10 videos after that, I hit like 2.5 million views on my video. And then it just kept going. Like I have a couple videos that are in the millions. One of my highest videos, like almost 4 million views. And I was like, fuck it. Like everyone loves what I'm doing. So I kept running with it. I started putting out House of the Dragon content, asking questions about people who knew about Game of Thrones and asking their views on it. And then, you know, Candid, and shout out to my boy Michael and X-Rod. They kind of pushed me to like, you know, you should start your YouTube channel. You should start posting more videos. So I made a YouTube channel and started doing that. So House of the Dragon is something that kind of pushed me to do more TV shows and movies. And the fun part, I want to like Marvel, even though it's been shit lately, it was the fun part about it was calling them up and being like, yo, what do you think's coming next? And I was like, fuck it, let's do that on a YouTube channel, dude. Let's do it on a podcast and talk about the damn show. And sure enough, once we started the podcast, I started doing my TV and movies, and everyone started liking that. And then I started doing more views on more videos on TikTok as well. And you know, I've gained like close to 2,000 followers within the last like month on TikTok, and that's more of my bigger platform of followers that I have, just because it's easier discoverability on that platform. It is very difficult on other platforms to get discovered, because you have to be following this person to see videos. Now on TikTok, you don't have to be following. Most people who I view or watch videos of, I don't even follow them, and that's the beauty of TikTok.
How is the process with TikTok as far as like uploading videos and getting it to kind of showcase of how you envision something to see? Is it overly complicated of how the process is to upload?
No. So it's really, really easy. And I think that's what made it so fun for people, because they can just upload a video and not put any thought into it, not put any effort into it, and literally just record themselves, put a couple fucking hashtags, and you're good to go. Like
you're good.
Yeah, there's a thing called the For You page. So it's videos that are for you, that are in the same kind of algorithm that videos of you watch. So it was very easy. It was very easy to do. And like I said, I think that's the main reason why it's been so easy to get views and followers on TikTok, because I don't need to be following this person to see their videos. It'll still pop up on my feed. But on YouTube, they're getting a little bit better, like the recommended thing. But on Instagram, it's almost impossible. On Twitch, it's like for streaming, it's very impossible to get any kind of following on Twitch if you don't have any other social media. So yeah, that's pretty much it, really.
Well, and here's the thing, Tones, you brought up a great point here. And I think this is at the heart of the matter in terms of who succeeds and who kind of fails in content creation. You said you were having conversations with your buddies and family about this stuff. And you're like, why not have those same conversations on social media? Why not have those same conversations on YouTube? Right?
Yep.
That mindset is what will propel you. You will do very, very well because it's that authenticity. You're a real fan. You really actually like this stuff. And all you're doing is taking these conversations that you have with your buddies and just bringing them onto the camera. That's what I did. That's what George did too, where it's like even before we started making content in 2016, we were on the phone talking about the stuff with our friends, family. We were into it beforehand. Now all we're doing is we're doing it for a larger audience. But the audience can sense people are not stupid. They can tell when you're out there just to grift, right? Just to be like, I'm here to make the AdSense money. I don't really care. You know, people can smell that a mile away. They can tell when you're real and when you're a real fan. And like, you know, when you start this because, hey, I've always been into it. And you know what? Why don't we do this in front? Why don't we do this for a bigger audience? The audience is gonna know that. They're gonna say, hey, these guys are authentic. I want to check them out, whether they agree or disagree with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's important. And I think that's why you've been so successful, whether it be on TikTok, you're growing on your YouTube channel, all that stuff. So that really is the heart of the matter, I think. Candid, what's kind of your story in regards to the social media game?
Yeah, see, and I'm kind of on the weirdly opposite end of Tones. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, everything I do is because he kind of guides me through it. If I didn't talk to him about it, I wouldn't have a social media. If I didn't happen to watch your videos, I would have never even got on the camera. Like, there's just those kind of things that happened in my life where I'm like, shit, now I got to run with this. Now I'm doing it. And here I am. But I guess if I was to have a start, it would be same thing that Tone said, playing Call of Duty with him. And he was pretty modest about the Call of Duty thing. We were pretty good. Like, we were in the top hundreds in the world in Call of Duty. So we already had this kind of weird, we'll call it a cult following of people that kind of knew who we were already in that sense. And that was before social media was really big, but you also had to be able to afford to be on social media at that point. Like, if you wanted to record, you had to have all the gear to do it. And we just kind of weren't there yet.
Yeah, we didn't have the gear.
If we had the gear to do it, we probably wouldn't even be having these conversations with you right now, because we would be in a whole nother planet. That's how our lives were going at that point. We were great. We were awesome. We were the shit.
We would be having the conversation. Don't listen to him. We would be having this conversation.
No, that's what we were moving pretty good in that little community, but then it kind of just took a dive for us, and then Tones kind of did his thing, and then one day my mom told me that she was sick of me playing video games all the time because it doesn't do anything for me. So my whole goal was to prove her wrong, and so I went and made a YouTube and started making videos, Skyrim videos, and started talking about the game and everything like that, because I wanted to prove a point that I could make money doing it. So I went out, and like a couple weeks later, I got monetized and everything. So I did it super quick on my YouTube channel, and started actually having AdSense money come in. And then after that, I told her, hey, look, Mom, I got a check, and I stopped doing it. And then Tones will tell you that I'm an idiot for stopping, because I was on
till this day, guys. It fucking pisses me off. It pisses me off. I mean, you guys know who Candid is. He's a character sometimes, but you know, it relates good to do streaming and YouTube and all that stuff, because it's a character, not necessarily a character, but it's his personality as well. Like, right. He makes things funnier. He makes things, you know, more enjoyable. Sometimes he makes things more just fun. And like, growing up, like, we would bullshit all the time. That's just how we were raised, but we would laugh at stupid shit. And being on camera doing it, like, he had the perfect personality for it. You know, and that's how much we bounce off each other, is why we started our podcast. And it was so much fun to do. But when he stopped doing the Skyrim videos and stopped doing YouTube in general, I was pissed. And I told, like, I tell the story all the time. I told him probably about 15 years ago, dude, let's do a podcast, bro. Let's do it. No one's doing podcasts that much right now. Let's fucking do it. Like we had the money to do it. We had the time to do it. We weren't working like fucking 60 hours a week, you know, and it was just that, you know, it was that fun. We had time to do it. Let's do it. And then he's like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I was like, all right, whatever. And then of course this asshole comes to me. He's like, hey, let's do a podcast. I was like, 15 years later, dude.
Nice.
God, man.
But, you know, it's never too late, you know, and putting your mind to things really helps. Doing the Bad Thoughts podcast is probably, I mean, honestly, it is one of the highlights of my life. I love doing it. I love meeting all the new people. I was just telling Tones that the other day, like everybody that I've met doing this pays for everything that I can ever have in my life. Like as far as relationships, like that does it all for me. And if more comes, that's the benefits of it. Like I want to meet more people. I want to hear other stories. I want to shoot the shit with these people. You guys, I mean, come on, man. I would have never in my wildest dreams thought I would actually be on your channel multiple times. Like I watched you guys. I've told you this multiple times. I watched you guys through the whole pandemic. Like you guys were my shit. That was on. I was working from home, and guess what was playing in the background? It was OG 55 and George. And you know, I probably should have been working, but it got me through a lot.
No, that means a lot to us, and
Yes,
and that's what the community is everything. It really is. Without the community, without the friendships and the people, what do we have? You know what I'm saying? It's literally everything. You know, and I feel the same way, Candid. Like the people we've met, like you guys and everyone in the chat, and all the people that are on the channel, and the people that we collaborate with and stuff. It's just
it's something. It's. Oh, sorry, bro. Yeah, finish your.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it. Yeah, because it's wild that, you know, we look at people and we say, you know, I can't believe, like we were hanging out with Danny and Mondo at Disneyland, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm standing here with 5 fires. We're going through Disneyland, you know. So it's like that was like a moment for me, and then it's like, and then Candid says, you know, I listened to you guys, and now look, I'm on your channel. So it's very humbling to even think that, you know, we're even in that same bracket. But yeah, it's like it's almost like, okay, I'm gonna go Italian here. It's like a layer of a lasagna. You know, it's like it's just like, you know, when you reach to the top, you get that full on lasagna. But it's wild. And as I said, we do this for the fun of it because it's our passion. We love it, you know, but it's also to create a community, to connect with people, you know, to grow, and as Candid said, to kind of shoot the shit and, you know, learn more stories and have, you know, deeper conversations. And, you know, that's usually the route that we like to go with OG 55. And I think if you have that mindset, then you'll go far. If you have other agendas, you know, it'll show through. And it's like, and you don't want that for yourself. You don't want that for your platform. And honestly, you don't want that for the community.
Yeah, no, people can see through stuff. They can see through stuff if you're faking your way through it or you're BSing. You know, people can see through it. Now, here's the thing. I'll start with you, Tones. As you get bigger, you inevitably. Go ahead, George.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I just read Candid's comment. I went full Bart.
Let me see. What happened? Oh, here it is. Okay. Nice. Okay, so I wanted to bring this up too, because this is the kind of the what's the word for it? Kind of the uglier side of getting into content creation, right? As you get bigger, you start stacking haters, right? You start getting more hate comments. You start getting people that are hating on you and all this other stuff. It happens with every single creator, and the bigger you get, the more haters you get. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is, you know. Tones, you're getting big. I mean, like you said, some of your videos, hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok, some millions. You're growing really fast on YouTube. I know your Wicked video. You were saying that you got some heat on the Wicked reaction video and stuff.
You didn't get heat. I got heat.
You got heat, you know, but you guys got some shit for that, you know, and stuff. I've gotten shit for years. I mean, constantly. But like, Tones, and then I'll go to Candid. How do you how do you handle that? What's your mindset when you see that stuff? You see someone hating on you, the same old jabroni coming into your comments, hating, and what's your mindset with this? Like, how do you deal with that?
I will admit, at first I didn't know what to do, so I did what I grew up learned to do was talk shit.
Again.
What I grew up to do or grew up
No.
Motherfucker, what I did when I was younger. How about that? It's my second live tonight. Leave me alone, all right? I talked my shit. I would talk shit and didn't give a fuck what I looked like in chat, what I looked like in the comments. I would talk my shit back. So at first that's what I did. And then when I would stream, it was just easier to like block people. Just if they talk shit, just block them out of my. But when it came to like TikTok and YouTube, people would put in the comments, and I don't, block them, but there's no reason to. Like let them say what they want to do, and of course there's gonna, like you said, there's gonna be haters nonstop, and I'm experiencing that as we speak. I have these lives with a ton of even in my comments for my videos, but in these lives people come in and I do strictly when I talk about House of the Dragon, I do strictly just the TV show. I give my opinion, I give my thoughts, I give my my opinions on what's coming next, stuff like that on just the TV show. But a lot of people come in and they're like, why don't you read a fucking book? Go read the books, go do this, go do that. And for an example, the other day, some kid, yesterday actually, some kid came in and he said, imagine talking about a show that you haven't read the book to. And all my mods were like ready to ban him. And I was like, no, leave him. It's fine. Let him say what he wants to say. If he starts being disrespectful, then you kick him, then you ban him. If you start like calling me names and calling other people names in chat, that's when I draw the line. But if you have an opinion about me not reading the books, that's fine. Just don't be disrespectful about it. So I learned to take it with a grain of salt. If you're going to be disrespectful to me, then I'll take action and talk my shit or ban you, or like if I feel like having fun with you, then I'll send Marcus over there to talk shit, but on the other end, it's like if you're going to be disrespectful and I don't feel like dealing with you, I'll just ban you. And I kind of had to discuss this with Marcus Candid, excuse me. I had to discuss this with him because we had a video on, I think it was Instagram or a short on YouTube that had a good amount of views, and someone was in the comments talking shit, and it was on the podcast, and Candid went on his YouTube and started talking shit back to him. I was like, and I laughed because did the same thing he was doing when I first started social media and YouTube and all that stuff. So I laughed at it at first, and then he said something. I was like, okay, bro, relax. Like,
totally. Yeah. And here's the thing too. I was the same way, man. I was the same way. I would go in there and I would do the ping pong back and forth, argue with these people and kind of get in the mud a little bit with these people. Right. And then I kind of realized as time went on, you're never going to find a happy hater. No. These people are miserable. And they're 100% of the time not doing as good as you. That's why they're haters. You don't see Bob Iger on fucking Twitter hating on people. Why? Because the dude's a bajillionaire doing well for himself. You know what I'm saying? People that are doing well don't have to hate on people. So people, if they're hating on you, they're hating on you because they're jealous. Go ahead.
Once it gets personal, it's like you lose your argument on what we're talking about. And I always go to that, because if you're going to come at me personally, like as if I did something to hurt your feelings or I did something to hurt you as a person, like there's no, if say Bob Iger fucking shut down a ride, right? And everyone was pissed and they come at him and called him a fucking old fart or whatever the case may be. Like, there's no point of you doing that because he didn't personally hurt you. He did something that he thinks is best for the company. You can articulate your opinion about it, but why come at him personally? So that's when that line has to be drawn, especially as a fan. And we're seeing that now for a actor in House of the Dragon. He had to shut down his comments on his Instagram because he's playing such a good part as an actor for a villain in the show. They literally had to shut down his whole fucking comments because people were coming at him personally, as if he's that character in real life. So it's like, stop being personal, dude. There's just no point.
There's no point in it. And the thing too is that these people, the haters, and I want to make a clear delineation here. There's a difference between a hater and someone who's being constructively critical.
Exactly.
Constructively critical is awesome. That feedback is important, right? But a hater just coming out there to hate, they want you to go back and forth with them. They want
and interact. Yep.
Exactly. When you ignore them and you don't give them a response, they get mad. They get big mad. They want you to go in there and fight with them. And when you don't fight with them, they get super pissed. And that's what I do now. I ignore them. You know what?
Yep.
I'm going to ignore you and I'm going to keep doing me. I don't care what anyone says. You can keep hating and I'm going to keep making content. Keep hating. And I'm going to still make content. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And they can be mad and scream into the corner and I'm just going to keep doing my thing. You know, George, what with the Top Gun shades, how do you handle haters, bro?
Well, before I do, just a couple things. I was just going through the comments before I get to the haters. Really quick, Sean ranking the mouse is in the house.
Yes.
Fuck the Niners, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Just I thought we were boys, dude. We had babies and we happy Father's Day. To
Wait,
each other.
what? You guys had babies?
Yeah, you know.
How is that possible?
You don't ask. Hey, this world nowadays, anything's possible. Hey,
What's up, bro?
and then also May is in the chat, and I actually have a little story about that because we were just talking about bumping into people, of how like social media is. That I met May and forgive me, May. I don't know if it was your husband or your boyfriend, but I met them when we were waiting for Phantasmic. And what was funny was I told them we were just having a conversation, just talking about Disney and everything. And it was funny because I knew I bumped into them before, but I couldn't remember where, but I knew it had to be probably at Disney. So it's again, not to stay on brand, but it's a small world. But I was like telling her about the
Only
channel.
George. Only George.
You got the old fucking grandpa like.
but anyway, May, I'm glad to see you in the chat. So yeah, it's really cool of just meeting up with people into the community and having a conversation. That a lot of people have like the same interest as you. Go figure. Because up until this point of having social media, I didn't think anybody enjoyed Disney other than me. I didn't know not one person.
And
but
how wrong were you, huh?
I know, geez.
And I'm the same way. Like I tell you guys all the time, I didn't even know this was a thing. Like I had no idea the community like you guys have was a thing just because I wasn't into Disney. Like I said, Candid's the one who brought me to Disney and kind of put me on as far as the bigger picture of Disney. And you guys run a YouTube that is strictly Disney. Still fucking Seahawks. But he's right. Candid or George is right.
Candid's right. Fuck the Seahawks.
Ranking the mouse here said you gotta shave that. You gotta shave that 4-month stash before you talk about my Seahawks.
Thank you.
And then Sean also says, "I'm looking like the Italian mafia." Yeah, Sean, this is my Maverick Italiano look.
Yeah,
I don't do it for all the lives, but I usually do it when the Bad Thoughts guys are on. I don't know, it just gives me a little bit of a rougher edge. I don't know why.
It just feels right, doesn't it? It just feels right.
Are we rough? Are we a rough edge?
I think we're the rougher of the people they have on.
You know what's crazy that we keep it at like this is probably like a 6 at the most we get on your channel, dude. We're not even at 10. Wait till you meet us in real life.
Yes, absolutely. So George, how do you handle the haters, bro? How do you handle those big haters?
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you. How many more fairy tale stories about you?
There we go.
We're gonna get freaking canceled.
my highlighter fell. We had Mickey and we had Mickey Mouse and Kendrick Lamar going.
I thought I was hallucinating there, bro.
See now that should be the freaking Mickey's Mix Magic remix.
Right.
That's it right there. People would go for that.
Absolutely.
So that the infamous orange highlighter. That's awesome. Oh, he's got to make a cameo.
I told him I tried to find I literally Googled the world, which I could probably find on Etsy, but I tried to get him a customized OG 55 highlighter for
Highlighter.
the longest time,
Oh,
and
man.
it's just not around. So if anyone out there can find an OG 55 highlighter, send this man an OG 55 highlighter.
Don't
He
you
had
have a
that
cricket?
same highlight for like 6 years.
Don't you have a cricket?
What's a
Oh,
cricket? Oh yeah, I do got one. Fuck. I don't know how to use that motherfucker though. Anybody
do
in the
if I wasn't
chat
here,
can
bro.
show me how to use my cricket. Let me know. I had that thing for like 3 years. Never used it.
but sorry. So anyway, so how I handle haters. I'm honestly, honestly, OG knows me because I mean, honestly, we record practically every day, and I'm a very kind of, how do I put it? I'm a very smooth, calm, cool, collected kind of guy. Like I just go with the flow. I don't let really anything bother me, and then if it does bother me, it's like all I have to say is I'm Italian, and they get the hint. But yeah, I'm with Tones in the notion of that, as long as you're civil, you don't have to like me. I know that you can't have every single person on this earth, like you or agree with you. I don't look for that. But as long as you're respectful,
Yeah.
and as I said, civil, you don't want to cause any trouble, then it won't be a problem.
So don't start nothing, won't be nothing, right, George?
Exactly.
Facts.
Yeah.
OG.
That's it.
Yeah,
Now that's a drop you fucking need right there, dude.
exactly. And that's the thing too, George. You're right. We have a lot of people that watch us that don't agree. Like Cliffix, for example. We don't agree with Cliffix on a lot of stuff, but we love Cliffix. He's awesome. He comes on. He's always respectful. So I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. And the sad part too is that a lot of people that get into the content creation space, they allow the hate to discourage them from continuing making content. Anyone watching that feels that way, where like, oh man, if I make content, they're gonna hate on me. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna hate on you anyway.
Either way,
Whether you make the
I have to say this, OG, real quick.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast gets hate for literally building wells in Africa, dude. I mean, what else can you do to like if you're building wells in Africa and you still get hate, you can't do anything wrong or you can't do anything right. Like it's as simple as that. Whatever you think you are gonna do and you're gonna get hate for it. Remember that Mr. Beast built fucking wells in Africa and got hate for it. So you can never please everybody.
No, you're never going to please everybody. Jesus got hate.
Exactly.
Okay. So none of us are more special than Jesus. We're going to get hate. You're going to get hate. They're going to hate on you anyway. So you might as well, if you want to do content, make content, say what you want to say. And if you get the haters, which you will get the haters because there's going to be haters, brush it off and keep making your content, And I actually, before we move on to the questions in the chat, I actually want to play, speaking of content creators, there's a gentleman that I watch who is amazing. He does a lot of like, I don't know what you would call it, like life content, life coaching or whatever. And just a regular dude. And he talks a lot about this kind of stuff. Let me bring Candid in.
I do have one more thing to say after we do this. It's kind of about if you wanted to make or content create. I wanted to say one thing after we do that.
And really quick, if I could say something before you play that. So just really quick, I'm just going through the chat. I'm just trying to like get everything in as I can. May, thank you for the compliments. Love the shades. Appreciate it. Other thing is Akiki and Luca is like, I like you, George. Okay, that's a lie. I love you, man. Well, guess what? I love you too. So thank you very much.
He says tones in general.
Yeah. And then Michael, no, I've never watched Growing Up Italian podcast, but it definitely seems like it's up my alley.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You could have been on that, George.
I know.
All right.
I mean, now Tones, before we move on to the video, you can go ahead and if you want to make your point before we watch.
So it's more of like advice. Now, the best advice I got was
Sorry, just really quick. I'm getting a little bit of feedback.
Candid, your mic has a fan in front of it.
There we go.
Right back.
So mute yourself, Candid. Thank you. No, the one advice I want to give people, and I think it's one of the best advice that I was ever given, was if you go into making content and you expect views and you bank on views and you worry about views and follows and all that stuff, just don't make content. There's no point of you worrying about followers and views and all that stuff, because that's the one thing you're just going to worry about the whole time. You're not going to put any kind of effort behind your content. You're not going to have any love for what you're doing if you just worry about views and follows, because that was the biggest thing that when I started streaming, I never did any social media thing. I just started streaming, and I was like, wow, no one's watching me. Why am I doing this? And then when I couldn't even tell you who it was. I think it was a big streamer. He turns all his views off. He doesn't care. And he said that was the biggest thing. That was the biggest positive that he's ever done. So I learned my lesson. And if you guys want to create content, just do it for the love of it and not the views and the follows.
Exactly. And if you do it for the views, then you're a slave like to the algorithm and stuff, and you're not as authentic as you could be, right? So for example, if I'm only worried about views, there could be a topic I really want to discuss, but if I feel like it's not going to get the views, I'm not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like when you go in there and you like Tonez is saying, he's absolutely right. If you go in there and you're like, you know what? We want to talk about, golf, we'll talk about golf. Now, maybe it'll only get 10 views. Cool. But we had a fun time talking about it. That's the mindset you should have going into it. Like Tonez is right. If you go in there with the mindset of like, oh man, let's talk about this because that'll get the views. If your heart's not in it, people are going to know. You know what I'm saying? You're better off making the video that will probably not get a lot of views, but your heart's in it and you have a passionate conversation about it. You're better off doing that video than the video about the topic that you don't really give a shit about, but you think it's trending or this, that, and the other. So you're absolutely right on that, Tom. That's great advice, man.
And Sean, I just have to ask you, because you got me at number 2 with George's glasses, and OG is number 1 with the neckline. I have to ask you, if I had the glasses and I had the infamous button-down shirt with the Italian chest hair, where would you place me then, bro?
Oh, you'd be way up there. So he's ranking the most attractive dudes in this episode. So I'm number 1 ranking. I love you, brother. Thank you, sir. And then we got
go ahead.
We got George's glasses. We got Tonez in general right here.
Tonez in general, just all of Tonez.
Look at that. Look at sexy Poppy. And then we got Camper post shave. Okay. And then we have Camper pre shave.
Candid's so ugly, he got bottom 2. It's crazy.
That's great. That's great.
One last thing about what we were talking about, real quick. One more thing is, like, if you notice you're not getting views, it's for a reason. You don't blame, this person or that person. Or you don't even blame yourself. Just watch your videos and learn what you are doing wrong. That's not attracting, not attracting followers or not attracting views.
Well, take exactly, Tonez. Take ownership of the situation, right? Because I see a lot of that with content creators. Oh, YouTube is like throttling me. No, you made a video that isn't resonating, and that's okay, dude. You know what I'm saying? Do better next time. That's it. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It's like
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, just and just each video do a little better, a little better, a little better. George, what in the world?
I know. No, actually, this time it's actually not me.
Oh, I know what you're laughing at. This. Can we
Oh my god, this is for sure After Dark, OG, man.
Yeah, OG After Dark, OG After Dark. All right,
7.5.
7.5.
Oh, I've seen this guy before.
Yeah, I like this guy, Trent Shelton. We'll just play like a minute of it, but I think he's great. If you want to get into content creation, I definitely suggest watching this guy. He's on YouTube. He's got 840,000 subs. I mean, it's crazy. But we'll play a little bit of this. He's highly motivational, and he makes so many great points on just being a creator. And even if you're not a creator, even if you're just a person that's on social media, you can really glean a lot from what he says. So here we go, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Ownership over their life, they sit down and try to bring you back down to make them more comfortable. Stop allowing these haters to bring you down. I don't want to say that word. Keep applying pressure. All right, I'm going to say it. Keep applying pressure. Keep applying pressure. Keep taking your life to the next level. Don't respond. When people hate on me, you know what I'll respond with? Greatness. Right? It's either one or two things going to happen. Either you're going to get on board or you're going to unsubscribe. Because I'm going to tell you right now, your words, your opinions, your gossip, your rumors, your judgment is never going to stop me. I'm gonna keep, you're gonna be sick in your stomach. If seeing me successful makes you sick, you're gonna be sick. It's just facts. You're gonna be sick for the rest of your life because I'm not slowing down. I'm not stopping because you don't like it. I'm not living my life to be liked by you. I'm not living my life to be approved by you. Right? I'm living my life to do what's right by God. I'm living my life to do what's right by my family. I'm living my life to do what's right by the people who support me. I ain't worried about you. Too many times we worry about the people who have no value in our life. Right? They do so little for us, and you're allowing that person to control so much of you. Right? Their hate does not stop you. Please understand this. Someone's hate does not stop you. It doesn't. Now, if you have 100% hate, then maybe you're doing something wrong, right? Let's be real. But realize this, their hate does not stop you. It doesn't. Their words will not stop you. I've been getting hated on since 2009. And guess what? We just kept growing and growing and growing and growing because I focus my energy on my supporters instead of my haters. Because I know that if you're a hater and you stay on here and you keep going, for one, I'm going to turn you into a supporter over time. I promise you that. And number two, if I don't, I'll realize that you're a confused supporter. I realize if my life was at rock bottom, guess what? You'll be happy. You wouldn't be hating on me. I guarantee if my life was miserable, you wouldn't be hating on me. I guarantee if I wasn't doing nothing with my life and suffering, you wouldn't be there hating on me. You wouldn't be there helping me. You wouldn't be there praying for me. So stop allowing people who wasn't praying for you at your bottom to make you insecure once you get to your top. Stop allowing people who was trying to bring you down, who didn't even care about you, was down at your bottom, that wasn't around when you was in your struggle, when you was at rock bottom, when you was at ground zero, and they wasn't around, and now they come around and try to bring you down because you're doing something with your life. Forget those people, man. You keep making the world respect your greatness. You keep making them miserable. You keep applying pressure. And if they want to stay subscribed, then guess what? They're going to keep being sick. They're going to keep being jealous. They're going to keep being miserable. These haters cannot stop you. When you going to realize that? I can't stand when somebody says, oh, I don't want to do it because so many people are hating on me. So what? They can't stop you. They cannot hold you back without your permission. You realize that. So once you change your mindset to why they hate you, because you have what they want, so they start to hate on what you got. When you realize that, when you realize, oh, like I done nothing to them except succeed. I done nothing to them except be happy. Oh, I get it. It's a them thing. It's not a me thing. Once you understand that, man, I'm telling you, you become unstoppable.
And it's always a them thing. With haters, it's always a them thing, and that's what people don't understand. They take it personal, like it's an issue that they have.
And really, this is a great motivational video, even for the person themselves. Like if someone is coming from a place of self-doubt, within themselves, sometimes you just need a pick-me-up, and these are the kind of people like this guy right here is that you need on your side that can just kind of lift you up and put you in high spirits to kind of just say, you know what? Yeah, don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Don't worry about what they're saying, or, if it's something that you believe in and that you're strongly committed to, then just keep doing what you're doing.
I'm going to say, if Walt Disney cared about haters, he wouldn't have done a damn thing. He wouldn't have built Disneyland because everyone was hating on that. Everyone was saying, how are you going to make a theme park that's clean? Everyone laughed at him when he wanted to make a
his own wife.
Right. And he wanted to make the first animated feature. They thought he was nuts. Let him talk. Do your thing. Yeah. Go ahead, Candid. I do apologize, brother.
What about the people that like me that actually enjoy the talk? I enjoy it. I love when people hate on me because it's funny. And I like throwing shade back.
Well, I think in your case, well, you know what? Then that's good for you. That's, it's the fact of that.
George is nicely calling you a sick individual.
The thing is like, shit don't bother me enough for me to care, but at the same time, I do like talking shit back. That's just kind of how it was and how it is. Over the years, obviously, I've kind of tamed it back down. And then now that I have a growing channel and Tonez has a growing channel, he still has to step in and tell me like, hey, dude, you need to pull back a little bit on that. Because I will kind of go hard on people, but I'm doing it because it's fun for me.
I think it's different from what you're saying though, because if someone talks shit to you, you're going to talk shit back, which is fine. But the point of that is if someone talks shit to you and it's making you stop doing what you're doing, that's a different story. Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about it.
Like, talk your shit, but anybody says, talk your shit, but don't let it stop you.
Exactly. Don't let it stop you. See, you're toying with them, Candid. You're having fun with it. You're unbothered. You're just having a good time. That's completely different. What he's saying is like, you know what? People are hating and people are like holding back because of the hate.
Yeah. I'm like the PG-13 version of you.
I love what he said though. He said nobody can stop you without your permission.
Exactly.
Like that is the moral of it right there. If you let someone else bother you that much where you stop your doing what you're doing, then they've done their job in hating and it worked. But like I said, don't fucking let them talk. If they talk shit and it bothers you that much, delete them, block them, or talk your shit back. It's the only 3 answers right there.
Yeah, well said.
I would want to say too, like Kiki and Lucas said something perfect. Some people will like you and some won't. It's like that in life, you know. I can count on one hand how many best friends I have, like how many people I call family and best friends, and there's only a couple. Like I associate myself with people, but there's a lot of people that can actually penetrate and get into my realm, and that's very hard to do because you got to keep certain people at a distance. Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly it. There's a lot of haters. I definitely have a lot of fucking haters, and that's just because of my personality and who I am. Not everyone vibes with me, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck who I like or who likes me. I don't fucking care who I like. Like, you know, Tone's been there I talk to this guy every fucking day, and I've done some stupid shit, and I've pissed him off multiple times in my life. I pissed him off more than I could probably, once again, I could probably count on my hands how many times this guy pissed me off. One hand. And he probably needs fucking 80 hands to count. So there's a difference. So if anything, it's good cop, bad cop with Tones and I for sure. And if you want to talk your shit, go ahead, man. I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing, and Tones keeps me grounded, which is great. That's why I love having him as my my best friend and family. He's always there to have my back. So appreciate you.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah, this guy, George and I too are the same kind of way. Like we kind of like we very different personalities, but we have different approaches to stuff. So it's like that yin and yang sort of effect, right, George?
You agree on that part?
Yeah, we were actually just having that conversation the other day. It's like, because I have my way, OG has his way, but it's an equal balance. Like it feels like you can't have one without the other,
Yeah.
And it's, as I said, I talk to him every single day. Same thing, whether we're recording, whether it's something about recording or whether it's not, just life in general.
It's like, OG likes, Asian cuisine, and George has just a bigger variety of, Italian and Asian cuisine and Mexican food.
Brazilian, boardwalk food.
Yeah. But the moral of it is you guys both like food. So that's why you guys get along. Yeah.
Exactly. Well said. Well said. All right. Should we dive into some comments and questions?
Tell me that wasn't the best analogy ever, guys.
It was fantastic.
세상이 누구에게나 공평하게 추악해.